welcome to part 3. I will say this last video is really bad. Not bad, but like I'm really calling people out. I'm really calling out certain situations that really hurt me, and I am not being nice about it. There is some swearing, be bleeped out, so you don't have to worry about it. I mean, obviously if it bugs you, then you should totally click away. I mean, you saw the disclaimer before this scene. So, prepare yourself. You're gonna see me cry, an ugly cry, because I definitely am not a pretty crier. You'll see me cry, you'll see me get really pissed off, and just over a lot of drama. It was definitely hard to film this one because I don't really like talking about my mom. Not because it's bad or she's bad, but because it brings up a lot of emotions and a lot of anger that I have towards certain people who just were horrible about my mom's death and who I no longer ever wish to deal with. So on that note, let's get to the video. Welcome back. So this is part 3 of my whole Why I Left trilogy, and yeah, so wanted to give you guys a little update. You're gonna see Lola coming very soon. So I really wanted to, like, after watching those videos and watching my reflection of them, hi Lola. No, okay, come here. After my filming, after rewatching everything when I posted for part 1 and part 3, it was really, like, I really took time to reflect on this last part, which is the update. So I had a moment, it was after, like, I had left the church. One of the girls who was actually, who had moved here from, like, the East Coast, she still was like, I want us to remain friends. She's like, even though you left the church. And she, I don't know if she meant to or if this was her tone, but she sounded like she was just being condescending, like, but you left or something. I don't know. But I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna think about it. And then she actually was also one of the people who had said that, how I told her, I was like, I believe that my mom is with God. And she's like, but you don't know how God works. And I was like, well, either do you. I didn't say this, but I was like, well, either do you. Like, you don't know. Like, you don't know. Like, I know how much my mom loved God and how much God loved her. And I believe God would let her into heaven with him. So that's my take. And I remember, because I have anxiety, but I didn't realize how bad it was until, honestly, after my mom died. I remember, like, the first 2 weeks after my mom had died, when I was back in Montana, like, I went to call my dad about something, and I didn't hear, he wouldn't pick up his phone. Like, I called like four or five times. Like, it was insane. And I just started getting nervous. And then I texted my friend's brother who still lived in Pocatello. And I was like, hey, can you go check on my dad? Like, or can you go look if his car is outside of his house, then don't worry. Or if his car is not outside of his house, don't worry. But if it is, will you please go knock on the door and make sure he's okay? And right before he texted me back, my dad called me. I called my dad again for the 6th time, and he picked up. And I was like, Dad, and I started freaking out. And he's like, what? And I told him, like, I have this person checking. He's like, Rosa, I'm fine. I was in a meeting and I had my phone off. And I just like started crying. He's like, what? And I was like, and it just made my anxiety was like through the roof, especially with like my dad. So I didn't know that it would like transfer to like my friends, sorry. And so like this girl, the one who I had mentioned previously about who like was from the East Coast or something, and like she like had said some stuff about my mom, but I was trying to ignore it. And then but no, and so we were supposed to hang out and go see a movie. Let's just say, so she said, hey, what are you doing tonight? and it was a Friday night. And I was like, nothing. And she's like, do you want to see a movie? I'm like, sure. She's like, okay, I'll look at times. Well, she never got back to me on times. And so I was worried. I went to a friend's house and was like freaking out, like kind of like nervous about things, and like didn't really know, like, and I went to I asked my friend, like, can I come over? She's like, sure. And then I got a call from my friend, from one of my friends who had also left the church around the same time I did. And she was like, hey, blah, 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 and I, blah, blah, this person and I are hanging out. And one of the people was the girl who I was supposed to go see a movie with. And I was confused. Like, when you ask someone, hey, what are you doing tonight? Or, hey, like, you think you're gonna go to a movie, or do you wanna go see a movie? Like, you think if you're asking that day that you're gonna go that day. Because otherwise say, hey, do you wanna go see a movie tomorrow? That would have been a lot easier. So I was kind of like, I don't understand this. And I was like, whatever. So they were like, hey, do you want to do this with us? And I was like, no, I'm good. And I hung up. Because she's like, hey, we're thinking of traveling to Vegas. Do you want to go with us? And I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. And I hung up the phone. And so then the next night I asked my friend Ashley, I was like, hey, can I just hang out with you guys? And she's like, sure. So we went to the hut, like we went, and like her friends, like my friend's kids were hanging out and doing some stuff. And then I got a call as we were leaving from this person who, because she had said, hey, let's go at 6:45. So I thought she meant 6:45 on a Friday night. She meant 6:45 on a Saturday, or some kind of 45 on a Saturday. I didn't know. I honestly thought that I really thought it was Friday night. And so I was like, no, I'm actually hanging out with my friend Ashley. And she's like, oh, I thought we were gonna go see a movie. I was like, well, you never said what time, so I was really confused on that. There's some miscommunication. You need to be better at communicating. Can you please? I was like, so I'm hanging out with my friend Ashley. I made other plans. And then she was like, oh, well, I'm sorry, but can we go to the movie? And I was like, I'm sorry, but I need to hang out. I need to be surrounded by people who, like, I feel like I can really bond with and trust right at the moment. And at this point, I think my anxiety was talking to me, because I think I was worried about her. Like, I didn't know if she was okay, because I thought she meant we were going to a movie on Friday, and she didn't text me by 6:45. And I thought something, I don't know if in my head and my subconscious, I was worried like something had happened to her. I don't know. I honestly think that that's what it was, but I just didn't really put two and two together until recently. Actually legit like 2 nights ago, like last night. And I just was like, maybe that was just my anxiety. But I just didn't know how to like say my anxiety, like this is my anxiety right now. And so I said that to her, like, I feel like I need to be around people that I can trust. And she texted me something like, she's like, I don't know what that means. Like, do you not trust me? And I was like, not like that. It's just, I need to be around people who I know I can depend on. Pretty much is what I said. And then she said, and I really wish I had the text message, I deleted it because I was like, she's not worth my time. She is a horrible human being, in my opinion. And the next thing that I tell you that she said to me that I remember reading in that text message really put me over the edge and put me to a point where if I ever see her again, 1, I will either walk away, or 2, I will confront her and like say some shit that I probably shouldn't, but I will happily do it. Like, either one I will happily do. But no, so, and then she said to me, she's like, I can't handle your emotions right now. You've been too emotional since your mom died. Excuse you. Like, who the do you think you are by telling me that I've been too emotional since my mom died? I'm sorry that my mom's death was inconvenient to you. And like, it's amazing that she said this, because I was just so blown away by her response, because she also had told me, so that like her mom had a stroke and was doing pretty poorly. And she was worried about her mom. And like, so in my head, I'm like, how can you say this to me, to my mom dying, when your mom had a health scare as well? Had a health scare, not as well, but you know what I mean. How could you say that to me about my mom who just died, and your mom who just had, well, your mom who just had a health scare? That's like me saying, like, if your mom died of a stroke, me being like, you're too emotional, like you're too emotional since everything happened with your mom. Like, that is the rudest thing to say to a person. And then, so like she like instantly, and she was like, you've been too emotional since your mom died. I hope you have a nice life. Goodbye. And she deleted me off of Facebook, deleted me off of Instagram, like whatever. I didn't give a because I honestly sat there and I really wish I would have recorded it of me and Ashley, because I was sitting on Ashley's couch when this whole thing was going down, and I was legit like deleting her. I was like, bye bitch. Then I deleted the girl who brought me into the church. I was like, bye bitch, don't need you. And then I saw her husband. I was like, you're her bitch, bye. I'm done. I'm done with every single person in that church. And then like after that, like I was so shocked at how many people just was like, bye. Like they just like pieced their way out, and but they still watch my Instagram stories, which I laugh at, because I'm like, you guys are like the biggest people in the world. Like, how do you think that you are so self-righteous that you can act like this to people? Like, you just phase them out. And yeah, I might be talking and might be confrontational right now in this video, but I'm not like, but like this was even before, like if you would have come up and talked to me over the summer or texted me over the summer seeing how I was doing, I would have happily sat down and talked to you. No one did. No one did. No one was like, hey Rosa, how are you? No one did. And then one of the girls from campus works at a local retail store. I'm not gonna say which because I don't, yeah. I went in, and my mom used to have a store card there, and she's like, oh, do you not have your blah, blah, blah card? And I was like, no, I don't. And she's like, oh, did your mom take it away? And I looked at her, she looked at me, it clicked in her head what the fuck she just said. And and she was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, well, she's dead. So yeah, I guess she took the card away. Can you just ring me up? And she rang me up. She's like, Rosa, I'm so sorry. I was like, can you just ring me up? And like, I was like, yeah, have a good day. And I walked out. I was like, no. Like, I understand if you didn't know my mom, that's fine. But the fact that you even like considered that, like that you even said that, like how rude are you? Like, or how dense are you to not be like, oh yeah, I went with this person to a bakery to talk about everything and how she's doing, and you just totally forget all that. Sorry. These people, it's really hard because these people were my friends, and it's really hard to look back and see and think about the pain that they had put me through for the past 6 months of like ignoring and not reaching out and just not like giving a like, I'm like, this is not a church community. You are not a community. You're horrible people. Like, yeah, I did have some, reach out to me. I had like one person reach out to me, and she is the person who now preaches, like she is his wife, and she's reached out to me a couple times. She actually reached out to me after part 1, and I appreciated it. I just hit like on the comment because I was like, I don't really want to deal with people right now. Like, and I just think that, I mean, and I appreciate that she reached out, but I feel like the damage has been done from this church, and I can never see myself. I thought I saw myself being friends with some of the people from the church at some point, or welcoming them into my home, but I honestly don't believe I ever will. They have showed me that they are not the best people to be around, that they don't respect other people's opinions, at least from what it seems like. And I mean, I've heard from a little birdie that the girl that brought me into the church and her husband, since they're leaders now in the church, which is the stupidest decision, just so you know, leaders, higher up leaders, that was the stupidest decision to put those two and give them some kind of power. It was the worst decision you could ever make, I believe. I hear that no one even goes to them for advice. If anything, sorry, I'm warming off my glasses. If anything, they are brought in like, sounds like almost as a last resort, or just like kind of secondhand. And honestly, I believe like, I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't want to go near them. I know a lot of good church people outside of the ICOC, and honestly, those people have really helped me to stay strong with my spirituality and my love of God, and have helped me realize that like I don't need that church, the ICOC, to have a relationship with God. Like, you can have one without them. I believe that the previous leadership, as in the people, as in when I first started going, the leadership, they were an older couple, like older. And I believe that their leadership is what f***ed up the church in Missoula, because they came in with all their own different rules that if you look at any other church, that's not how it's supposed to go. And I really wish that those who were brainwashed by that couple, that older couple, will eventually see that how they were taught to believe in God or believe the relationship with God and church, especially that church, is flawed. I really wish they will see that belief system is incorrect and does not line up with the Bible, because a lot of the stuff that was preached previously was not correct. It definitely was not how I believe that God and Jesus would want their message to be perceived. This church definitely skewed it. I hear it's getting kind of better, maybe a little better than it was. But it's really hard. Like I had said in one of the videos, in part 3, in one of those videos, how I had written letters to a lot of the girls I had, and then I had a big blow up with a couple people, as in they pretty much, the one with the girl who I just mentioned in this video, and then my old disciple partner, who I think is an immature child, even though she's 25. And I know she's been through a lot of stuff, emotional baggage of things, an immense amount of emotional baggage, but at the same time, that's no excuse for being, better words, like all of that stuff does not give her the right to be a complete. I think that she has a blown up, overconfident view of herself. And I am happy that she is now more confident than she was when I had first met her. But I believe that she is overly confident to the point where she's cocky about things, and she definitely shouldn't be. Like, you need to have a more realistic view of yourself, because if you don't, I feel like you're gonna think you can achieve things that you will actually never be able to achieve. Do I believe that this church has gotten better since my previous videos? Yes. Will I ever step foot in that church? Hell no. No. I will not go back in there, even if someone is like, I'll give you $1 million to go back to your church. I'd be like, keep your money. I'm never stepping foot in that church. It's really hard because the First Christian Church that they actually rent from is actually a really good church. Like, I have a coworker that goes there and she loves it. I don't like the ICOC branch that goes there. And I know that I was really heated at the beginning of this video. I really was, and I still am, because it brings back so many emotions to have to like rethink of everything, give a huge update on everything. And it's just like, these people, not all, mainly the young professionals. So to you young professionals, and to you, call it campus ministry, I hope that you become aware that you were brainwashed by horrible leadership from before. Not current leadership, past leadership. Because once you realize that you were brainwashed by bad past leadership, you will be able to see that you are not the one and only true church. That you should not just, you know, say goodbye to everyone from the church and never talk to them again. I believe that you need to be as accepting as possible, and none of you are. Maybe you're getting better. Maybe you're seeing the true light that what you were previously taught was and I'm really happy that if some of you have realized that it is, I'm very happy for you. But to those of you who don't, especially some in leadership who believe that, Hershey, stop. I'm trying to have a serious conversation. Thank you. Jesus. I hope that the current leadership for the singles realize that not everyone has to follow the same way that you got married. They don't have to follow the same rules that were supposedly biblical rules, because they're not right. And they're not aligned with the Bible. It's like, show me where it says I can't do this, this, and this. Like, where the does it say it in the Bible? So I really hope that you all will realize that you were brainwashed previously, and that past leadership is horrible, because they were really people and should not be allowed in any kind of leadership in any kind of religious factor ever again, because they will just distort it to their own stupid rules and stupid belief that is not safe and not healthy to people who are really desperately seeking God, like I was, and was taught to believe this of a belief. I was going to apologize for calling some people out, like current singles leadership, but I'm not, because I don't regret saying anything. I don't regret any of the things I've said about current singles leadership or YoPro leadership, whatever the you guys are now calling yourselves. I don't apologize, because I believe you are wrong for your current position. I believe that you are not a good fit, and I wouldn't trust you with a ham sandwich. Like, you are not trustworthy. You are sneaky and manipulative and fake. You are a fake group of people. No, you're fake. And I don't think that's good for someone being in a leadership position. You really need to take a big step back and look at yourself and be like, how have I been treating people? Even though I know you probably wouldn't, and you probably wouldn't care. I wonder, like, I just look at it like you people who are currently in this leadership position in the YoPros, you don't seem like you like change, which is funny, because you guys are currently going through a life change, as in you are having a kid, whatever. And it's just like, the fact that you don't see that change needs to happen for things to get better, and you're excited for this new change in your life, but you're not, it doesn't seem like you're willing to accept that there is change going in this church that needs to be done. like there has been so much damage done to a lot of people. Maybe not as much to me, but a lot from people who had previously left. Like I remember the first group of people that left when I first started going. I felt a real connection to one of the girls, and I really wanted her to be in my Bible study, but like something felt off. And at first I thought it was because I later found out that she was leaving and she wasn't godly anymore or whatever I was told. But I was wrong. It was because she was not treated. It seems apparently, from what I'm guessing after hearing about how fucked up past leadership was, like she and these two other people probably left because they realized that what they've been taught was and what they've been taught is not aligned with the Bible. And it's not what God would want us to be taught. Like, it's just so hard to believe that like these people who had been preaching this for so long, like you trust them. And I mean, I trusted them. There were definitely some things that I was like, are you sure that's right? Because it seems wrong. Like there were a lot that I was like that, but sorry, I did not want to step on any toes because I didn't know. It's weird. I guess I didn't know if someone would try to like rebuke me or just be like, hey, we need to sit down with blank to go over some scriptures with you. Like I was nervous to speak out because I was like, I'm probably gonna have someone come up and try to rebuke me. And I believe that they are, the current leadership, as in like the new preacher or pastor or whatever, and his wife are really trying to make good and positive strides and try to heal the past hurt that the previous leadership had caused. And I'm really happy to see that they're doing that. But I hope that the younger kids realize that y'all are because your belief that you've been taught previously was all a lie. And it's gonna be hard to believe and you're not gonna want to believe it, but honestly, like the previous leaders, that previous couple, like no, like I honestly got a weird vibe from the start, but I didn't want to say anything because I was like, maybe it's in my head. I was like, Rosa, it's in your head. Like you're trying to let the other shoe fall. Like, you know, you're like, everything's going great, but what's gonna happen? And it's really hard now to think about it, as in I'm like, there are some people that I'm sad that I've lost talking to, like the people who I thought I'd be talking to, like some of the older marrieds, or seasoned marrieds as I called them. I thought they'd reach out more or something, or they'd want to, you know, get coffee or meet up or occasionally, and none of them have. And I don't know if it's because they're waiting for me to reach out, but at the same time, it's like, I don't even know if they'd want me to reach out. So I am not going to. I will probably never see them again. Well, I mean, I'll see them, but I meant like hang out with them again. Because I mean, it's Missoula. We're like maybe 80,000 people. Like we're gonna run into someone eventually. And I'll just deal with it when that time comes. And I might see those other people again, like the Yo Pros. I might see them again. Will I ever speak to them again? No. And I don't regret that. I will always know where my loyalties lie and who I can trust. And it's definitely no one from that church ever again. I can't. You all have been rude, you've been deceiving, and you're liars. I will never step foot in your church again. I will never welcome any of you into my home. And, you know, I just can't imagine how much you really don't care how you treat someone. And to the girl who's told me I've been too emotional since my mom died, peace, I don't need you, because you are a rude, self-centered little brat who, you're 37 or 35, I don't know, you're older than me, and you're acting like you're in high school, and you are being rude, and your heart is horrible. Your heart is in a bad spot, and I think you need to get better. I think you need to improve yourself. Really, really just hope that one day, if you ever watch this, you'll actually realize that you hurt me like none other, because you had the audacity to say that to me a couple months after my mom left this earth, or after my mom died. It's whatever. But the fact you have the audacity to say that, like, you're a person. And I hope that you can improve yourself and make yourself better. Look deep into your heart and realize that you were in the wrong. And then, do I want to say something? Okay, to the girl who said that to me at that store, I know you're not dumb, but really, really, I honestly, like, I didn't even know what this update part 3 was gonna be. Like, I thought it was gonna be some fun little like blah, 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 but no, it's been tough because it's like all these emotions, I'm thinking about them all over again and having to be like, how do I really feel about this? And it's like, you know what? I need to be done thinking about these people, having these people like run my life, because I feel like I'm giving them power. So that I wanted this to be my last little bit of ever mentioning this church ever again. Because they have ruined lives. They are not a church anyone should be attending. They are not trustworthy people. I don't trust them, and I don't think that they should even be a church anymore. Yeah. So, I'm gonna end this by saying to those in the church, I don't wish you the best, but I don't wish you the worst. So, yeah. Anyways, you'll be watching this on Tuesday, and this week at school we get we have a 4-day weekend. On that Saturday, I'm gonna be filming a new video. It's different than anything I've ever done. It's actually me taking this camera out into the world and really seeing how things go. The video I'm gonna be filming is going to be including my friends' kids. It's gonna be called Steph and Kids Run My Life for a Day. And the day is only from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm not gonna do a whole day, I can't. Plus they probably wake up a little late, so I'm like, whatever. So it's gonna be Steph and Kids Run My Life for a Day. I'm gonna have a few rules. I'm gonna tell the boys. It's gonna be $50 spending limit, $50 to $80 spending limit, nothing illegal, and nothing that's gonna make Rosa piss her pants. Cause no haunted houses, I can't do it. Oh. So I'll be filming that on Saturday, probably editing it on Sunday, and hopefully having it up on Tuesday. If not Tuesday, definitely sometime the week after. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of crazy footage, I believe, and it's gonna be good. So thank you for watching this current video. It was a lot of emotions, a lot of anger that I still have towards who I mentioned. And I just wanted to give an update that, yeah, that's really how I felt. So, all right guys, thank you. And I can't wait to go and film this new video with the boys. It's gonna be a crazy one. Peace.